Hey all, hey sis and all sis. And we're back now with the with the thing, the okay, so that is very good. So the microphone is on the highest, right? And so yeah, right, is the recording? Yes, it is. I know that normally you're supposed to have the access to that second slot over there with the memory, right? But do you need to fill up the full thing first? Maybe you have to. Anyway, so we're going back to the Ninja file, and yeah, so okay, so we ended in catacombs, I'm guessing, is what we did. And I did allow the spike breaker. I would normally allow the regular tunic as well, but right, because the spike breaker is for breaking spikes and stuff like that. And I did allow, of course, that ring of Ares and stuff like that, and the ring of Fëanor and stuff like that, yeah. But then obviously we can use all the circuit stuff as well, so yeah. So we still haven't gotten the Osafune, we have just gotten the regular katana and stuff like that, so yeah, so now we could, how many library cards do we have? We do have 2 library cards, but we probably don't want to use them yet. Probably don't want to use them yet though. I'm gonna take so much damage, man. Okay. So now we're using one of the familiars, the demon, because why do we allow the demons to be used? Anyway, the next challenge that we're gonna be doing, I have not decided on yet what the next challenge should be. So yeah, I have not decided what the next challenge is gonna be, because the next challenge could be a bunch of things, One of them would be summoner and stuff that, summoner challenge and stuff that, which would be nice, of course, to do, and everything, I wouldn't mind doing a summoner challenge at all, and stuff that, but yeah. Now one challenge, of course, you could also go with, for example, is drops only challenge, and so stuff that at some point, and I don't know what you call it, if you call it scavenger challenge, or something like that, right, because that will mean that anything that you basically pick up out in the world, like Blood Cloak, Twilight Cloak, Cloth Cape, Royal Cloak, Crystal Cloak, those you can all get things out via drops, basically. Will be the thing. Now the question is would you allow the shop? Because if you don't allow the shop, right, then you wouldn't be able to get any cloaks at all, and stuff that it would be a thing, right? So maybe it would be a version where you allow the shop, and a version where you don't allow the shop at all. You would still be able to buy well, no, you wouldn't be able to buy healing items either, right? So that everything would have to come from enemies and stuff that, which would be, of course, a bit of a unique challenge, if I'm being honest, and stuff that, which would of course be nice. Yeah, I mean, it's not really worth killing the enemies here and stuff that, because yeah, the main goal here is, of course, to go back to the... You might say, oh, you could use on the library and then you teleport it up, and that is true, and stuff that, but Now, I don't know if this is going to be the last part, because I'm pretty certain this is going to be part 6 then. Of that, because it depends, of course, how quickly we do things in the second castle and stuff that. I'm not certain how we're gonna beat Galmoth. I would like to do the trick on the Galmoth fight and stuff that, to go to where the area is and stuff that. But if you mess up that strat, then you are almost dead. If you mess up the strat, by the way, so yeah. Is this, yeah, there's the bouncy rock. The ricochet stone, or whatever you call it, but yeah. Now, should they at some point make like an ultimate version of Symphony of the Night? Maybe, you know, I've been thinking about that. Like what would an ultimate version of the game be like? You know, and stuff that. Like, what would it actually entail to make an ultimate version of the game and stuff that? Because I'm gonna say this right, that in the PSP version before they patched it, because I'm pretty certain they patched the PSP version. I'm pretty certain that Maria you had in that. Was not the Saturn Maria, of course, and it did not look like the Saturn Maria yet in terms of looking like her. It was actually the quote-unquote child Maria, I believe it was. That was playable at first in the PSP and stuff that. Because in Requiem, of course, you have the adult version, but I think the quote-unquote the younger version of her is actually used for certain things. Basic excuse, and you know. Because that version of her kind of has the same whole black. She has the sub weapons, just like the adult Maria has, but she has like actually pretty quick movement speed, and because she has a smaller hitbox, you know, she was technically better than the Warden Maria you end up getting and stuff that. But yeah. I mean, if you would make like an ultimate version, right, you would like allow them to actually wear armor and stuff that, and you know, do some other things as well, you know. And keep in mind, by the way, that I've made like a playlist on the YouTubes, by the way. So yeah, so should I talk about the summoner run first? Probably. So the summoner run would allow me to use the Alucard gear, by the way. I would allow the users of the Alucard gear. Do that. Yeah, good damage boost there. I'm not taking that much damage though, so yeah. So pretty good. And here we got the Yoel symbol. The holy game. The snorkel. I don't get why why is that a holy symbol? Like, why is it called like a holy symbol and it's a snorkel? Like, that is like very weird, you know, like I don't know why. You know, what were they thinking, right? You know? It's not like today, by the way, so yeah, that's nice. I'm all filling in the map squares now, and then we're gonna teleport back to the library, I think. Because I wanna sell some more stuff to the library, and of course, I always thought that the shop felt like it was lacking and stuff that, in terms of like because I mean the strongest version the strongest weapon in the shop is the Harper and stuff there, which is still not particularly good and stuff there, but yeah. I'm already got this stuff here, by the way. We did get the had to max up on the other thing, but yeah. There's of course no reverse library codes yet, and we know, right, because there have been like people that are modded like with the randomizers stuff like that, like people that are shown like, okay, you can make a reverse library code, like, hey, like I'm pretty certain that these people like do this stuff, would be willing to do this stuff for free, or implement the things into the game, into the code. Like, I'm getting sure you would need someone's permission to patch the game or like add the stuff, and you know, but yeah. And I would even say if they would be willing to pay the people, you know, and stuff that would make it even better. So yeah. Because otherwise, right? So I mean, these are not the default damage values of them and stuff there, but yeah, but Harpy would be the strongest one that you could get and stuff that from like weapon wise. And the strongest shield would of course be the Iron Shield. And then of course there would be a circuit you can get, the Black of the Silver Crown. The Diamond Plate would be the strongest armor. Just the cloak would technically be still the strongest cloak that you could get and stuff that, so yeah, you know. I also thought also that something that they should have is if you max out everything, they should unlock like a... Oh, there's quite a lot of enemies I'm missing. I found the ice. Strong versus cat, so that's why. I feel like there are certain things that they have actually rebalanced and stuff that so like potion and that drops the king stone. Gruesome demon from here, yeah, he drops the dark shield. Yeah, there's a good thing from the spectral sword. There's a monster wild 3 from that. I want to check how many the monster wild 3. How many skeletons. So Yorick also has monster wild 3. That's good to know. Katana from the tombstone, of course. Resist Iron Sirloin Firebrand, a gold circlet, a monster vial, 3 that's the skeleton 1. String potion, and that should say garnet, right? Because I'm pretty certain we got the garnet drop. That's weird. Right, because I didn't like reset at one point, I don't think I did. Yeah, holy sword from that. I'm checking to see if there's any difference here. So right, so the thing is from the what is it? I think this one is... No, but it does not say short sword there, so... yeah, there's the short sword and something else. And I know that this skeleton can drop the thing at least. And then the bats can drop the other monster vial. And then the... Oh, I did not go and slay the... We did not go and slay the mermans on this. We have not gone and slay the mermans. So that is something. We have not gone and slayed the mermans. Which, you know, it's a bit of an issue. And stuff that, you know. We have not slayed the mermans at all. Because, I mean, there are reasons why we would want to slay the mermans, of course, because during that thing, right, that you would have to grind during like a summoner run, as we would call it, right, I would have to quote-unquote grind the mermans until 99 of those monster vials, and then probably grind 99 of that as well, because once the summoner run starts, which is basically after Alucard loses his gear, after that the only way that I would be allowed to do damage is via the summons. Now you might say also that stuff like summon spirit would be allowed as well, you know, and stuff that, which, you know, because it says like summon spirit, right, it summons the spirit, you know, so you technically a summoner, so that's anything with the Tetra spirit. But the main problem is, of course, is that the first demon card is of course in the vanilla location and stuff that, which would require you to go down into the mines, so that won't be something you would be able to do immediately and stuff that. But you would of course technically only require like, no, you would need more than you will have open and stuff like that, because you would need to get the some other things. Yeah. Another thing is, what else is there? There's the sword card as well. There's Bat, of course, there's Ghost. Bat is in Alchemy Lab, the Ghost is used in the castle, like the castle keep, but you need to basically have Bat or Flight. Bat or, you know, Gravity Boots. Well, I'm probably certain that you have to, you know. There are of course some interesting things that you need to do, of course, and yeah. So much long can we record? 50 minutes. I want to check here though how much we have left here, so okay. I know that one of those will be like the last save and stuff that. Oh right, we haven't done all locks yet. I forgot about that. So we need to go and do all locks first. Which is not the greatest to have to go and do. Let's get the mana prism into resist fire. Into luck potion. And that's it. This music is really nice. The weird thing though is that you would figure out, right, that they would have like, you know. Now I know that the third castle was planned. I don't know if like the third castle would have been like a reverse castle or something like that, if that would have been the case or not, you know. So yeah. But I'm pretty certain that this is also where the sword card will be. In here, because they moved the location of it. I think this is where the sword card is going to be, or something else. Oh, this is a sword card. Yeah, there's a sword card location. Which is moved, right? Because I think this auto refers to it at the other location, right? Let's actually unlock the shortcut here first and not die. But there's a way to get that to be more bloody and stuff that, and it kinda has to do with when you walk here and stuff like that. I always thought that there were a bunch of things that they wanted to implement into the game, like small little things like, oh, go here after Gerting is bloodied enough, and you know. Bloody zombie! And get the hot max up. Oh wow, that's only one to break. No, there's the fairy card, yeah, they switched the location there. And that's basically the green fairy. So and that's all the familiars. No, not all the familiars, there's one more familiar. Which I think we need to get in Colosseum. Which Colosseum we have not fully explored yet even. So let's go and do Colosseum a bit quick, just because, you know. I did notice that the editor was not fully explored. Okay. And let's go grab Shield Rod also while we're here. I don't know how easy that will be though too. Shoot me! Shield rod, so nice. It's of course fairly easy to do the room if you can use soul steel quick enough and stuff like that, so yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I would say this, right, that not all the areas on the map are like the same size and stuff that of course the Colosseum feels like a pretty small area, all things considered, you know, and stuff that. But yeah. I would definitely say also something that I would do, for example, if I would add like if we would add like the Saturn areas, then I would instead make it so that the Saturn areas would have teleporters to it instead, so that normally where you go and where you enter the door, or at least one of the Saturn areas, there would instead always be a teleporter, and they would make the Saturn areas basically bigger and stuff like that, which would of course be nice. There's a Gravekeeper, and there's cutting a green tea there. I always thought that this should have been something as well, that there should be a way to drain the fountain and stuff like that, and then this should have been a path down. Except of course then the maps would needed to have been moved around there, you know. One thing that they should have also on Maria, in my opinion, right, should be that beast-like enemies, like that guy's owl, for example, she should be immune to the owl first thing, because you shouldn't be able to make an owl actually fight Maria and stuff like that. And never made any sense. So the lighting is very good on these type of enemies and stuff like that, like you can clear that room completely with lighting, but yeah. Okay, and all we need to do now is go up here and get the no stealing card. Right, and there's the end demon, which is the nose demon. But then it looks like there would be one more slot for something else and stuff that, you know, like I always thought that when you got like 99 on several things, and that should have been something. Now there's one more thing we're gonna do here, by the way. Normally I would not allow the clock, right, but we need that for use map completion. We're not using it in any combat sense, by the way. So we're getting the clock. I do also think that it's weird that why didn't make the teleporter actually properly be in the Olrox area, like where you when you have actually entered by going up there and stuff that, you know. No. Alucard shield, of course, and then Alucard mail and Alucard sword. And now we're gonna go to the Colosseum again, and you know, so we can get back the what is it called? Isn't it called not Aqua, but it's called something with A, I think it is. Like the name on it is weird. The name on the lightning thing is weird, if I remember correctly. And it's something that I always thought that's interesting, because it's the only thing really that's lightning in terms of like the, you know, Like yes, a lot of the things are like holy and stuff that, and I believe the thunder weapon is also holy. Some parts of its damage, you know, and stuff that, but course, yeah. But yeah, so on the summoner you would need to grind the monster vials from both the bats and the mermans. And then of course, otherwise you would have to get these summons in order to be able to deal damage and stuff like that. So yeah. And getting the summons would not, of course, be the greatest thing in the world because, you know, as I said, you can get no stamina in there. You can get a sword card at the unlocked location, but that of course requires flight. Getting the nose demon requires flight. Technically getting to the thing also requires flight. Although I believe you can do it with wolf form as long as you have the wolf shards and stuff like that. Although I forgot if wolf shards needed the thing or not. I forgot if it not. And of course the bat is in the alchemy lab, and that technically you can do with the gravity boots as well. And I mean you need kind of flight to reach gravity boots and stuff like that. So yeah. So the question is like, do you then need to rush the library and get that thing like immediately, right? Because then you would go get wolf. You would avoid going into library yet. Maybe you will go into library, but yeah. Now it would be better to go to the library once you get the library card. So you would have to do that stat basically to go get wolf. And then immediately when you have wolf, you would have to go back to the clock room. Basically you would need to go back to the clock room. And stuff that, so yeah. We're doing the heal here at the health place, or at the same room. Yeah. But I think it's somewhere right is that the main problem is it's right that the monster vials, even though like they do very low damage, but if I remember correctly, they do get like dependent on your damage. I think it is that they do scale like with your damage. They don't scale like with your intelligence or anything. I believe they actually is dependent on your attack value or whatever, right? I think it is. But you cannot of course equip a sword once you have them out and think that that will make high damage for them. But for example, like having a Ring of Wardas equipped will buff their damage if I remember correctly, but yeah. So what level is he? He is level 8 at this point. Now I mean you might say that the sword familiar would be the best thing and stuff that, you know. And stuff that, and you know, like you might say that his weapon would count as a summon weapon, you know, and stuff like that, but yeah. Of course he is a proper summoner and stuff like that technically. So I always thought that these were like stronger versions of the familiars or something like that, you know. But we're gonna see the huge damage that we're gonna be able to get here at the... Well, I thought that damage would be higher there actually. I might want to avoid looking at the screen. Because yeah, that speed is pretty intense. I'm gonna get life max up. Which is nice, and then we get the... Echo all that. And then we use library card. I didn't know if there was a secret input to get to it, because I can castle with the thing. I don't think we got anything else here. I'm interested in this. I mean, the hopper looked like it would be a dark sword actually and stuff that, you know. Oh yes, I'm doing like a run, by the way, like, you know, when you're doing the summoner, as I said, you need to get the vials. But then of course the question is like, how far would the 99 vials get you? Because the main problem is that if we get the 99 of at least use the merman stuff right, then will that be enough to kill the bosses that we need to kill? And that would mean that we would have to try and avoid most enemies, right? I would probably allow the casting of the Hellfire, right? Because you can do this when you do Hellfire. So, because you can cancel it with that, basically. I kinda need to do the input with the... Isn't it up and then 5 on motion? It's up and then, yeah, there we go, that's how you do it. So it's up and then you use up and then you use the neutral input and then you do the 5 on motion. Yeah, there we go. It's just that you have to pronounce kinda how you do the input, because if you know, that is a bit annoying. Yeah. What metamorphoso? I know that I don't allow you to damage with the spells, right, and stuff like that, like we did cast certain spells by mistake, you know. Although I did allow the wing smash against the Bob and stuff like that, yeah. Now, of course, will I need to have the ultimate gear before fighting Galamot, probably, you know, and stuff like that, so that's why I don't think that this is going to be the final part. And stuff like that, because, yeah. Now, if I remember correctly, though, the Dark Armor you can grind from 2 places, I'm pretty certain. Like, you can either grind the Dark Armor from... or you can grind either the Dark Armor from the octopus thing, but the octopus thing of course does a lot of damage because we only have 8 in defense, but we do have a lot of damage with that. Of course, that thing I'm pretty certain will be immune to this weapon and stuff that, which is a bit of an issue, which is why I feel like we need to get the Ostafim and stuff that. We need to get the katana basically. But we will of course go an alternate route this time around and stuff that, yeah. So let's go into the second castle. I also thought that they should have had unique music for all the airs in the second castle, which is something they did not do. There is certain like songs that kind of repeat in a certain way. Imagine, right, if certain songs, if there would have been like backwards version of songs, you know, stuff like that, but yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get some things here, also some drops actually, and stuff like that, yeah. Now, aside from Summoner, by the way, I've also thought about, yeah, it is weird that why is there a skullboard in the second castle. I think that was meant to be called something else though. Like it makes no sense that there's a skull lord here, you know, and stuff. That I definitely think that would have been meant to be another enemy or whatever. But yeah, and you can get an iron ball there. But what we really want to get is the thing over here. And then next to this, boom, fireball, fireball, and fireball. And now, Sword of Dawn! Okay, let's just allow that for now. So this is Sword of Dawn, which can summon guys. And sadly it does not have a thrust attack. So it's kind of a Claymore model. Now it does swing pretty decently fast, though, and yeah, you do have summons with it, so technically, I mean, I would allow this sword in a summoner run and stuff that. Yeah. Now there are, of course, something that I wish, because the game would wish it would have extended the password system. I mean, there's technically passwords, right, because, you know, there are technically some passwords. I might say that it's weird to allow the using of Sword of Dawn and stuff that, like, oh, what that has to do with, you know, black ninjas and stuff that, but it is used because of a certain farm. But I would probably not have the Ring of Arizona just so we can get a little bit more defense and stuff that. So let's just have the Gauntlet. No, the Moonstone actually matches the Gauntlet, so the Moonstone is actually better to have. The Spikebreaker is what's giving us pretty decent defense, right? Because of the having to allow the Spikebreaker. Right, so we need to kill the bat because we haven't done that yet. Which yes is weird because of the first path that we took and stuff that two things, you know. $69 damage, hell yeah. Oh, that was weird. It's not often you see that attack. So that thing hits twice, by the way, for 29, the lightning thing. But I definitely think also like a magician speed run would be interesting, because that would of course mean that you would have a magician speed run would mean that you would cast certain things. Now I won't go for the secret area yet, by the way, just because of certain reasons. Anyway, first off we do this, we go here, go the upper path first. To get the moon rod, with rod with lunar markings. Yes, rod with lunar markings. Do a night speed run. I thought about that as well. You know, night speed run. Like, okay, well, like what would a knight be? Like a knight wouldn't like use a leather shield. Well, of course, obviously, knight shield you would allow. You would allow also herald shield, because herald shield, right, is like that has a symbol, right, that can mean that, oh, you belong to that specific house and stuff that, so that would make sense. Shaman shield wouldn't make sense, Alucard shield would not make sense. And stuff that, and you might say, oh, but the Alucard shield also has crests and blah blah blah, and stuff that, but then of course, like, okay, like what type of, like, would you allow short swords, for example? Would you allow scimitar? Probably not scimitar because, you know, knight, again, you know. Short sword you probably allow, gladius you would not allow, you would maybe, no, but light cavalry, that depends on what type of knight, like, are you gonna be like a full plate knight, right? But the thing is, you would not allow, like, cloth tunic, probably not even bronze grace or silver plate or gold plate. Like, you would probably need, like, the iron. Right, there is an iron as well somewhere. Although I do think that is from the shop, right? Unless you get it as drops, right? Yeah. But there would be some things like, okay, like what would I allow to use as a knight, for example, like would I allow the regular mace? Yes, most likely. I would probably allow the Morning Star. The Morning Star you would definitely allow. Morning Star you would definitely allow to use. Probably the Broadsword you would use. Claymore you would definitely allow. Stuff that. So Claymore would be allowed. Obsidian Sword would not be allowed. Firebrand, Knightband, Terminus would not be allowed. F-Stock would be allowed, of course. So of the stuff I have now, right? If we would do a night run, F-Stock would be allowed. Herald Shield would be allowed. Claymore would be allowed. Broadsword would be allowed. Even though they say that's a mercenary sword. Bastard Sword would be allowed. Morning Star would be allowed. Night Shield would be allowed. Saber would not be allowed. Scimitar would not be allowed. Bastard would not be allowed, even though they say basic short. So Short Sword would be allowed. And stuff like that. And there would be some other things that would, be allowed as well, depending on if you get them as drops or not. Here, Bandana makes no sense. Stormmask makes no sense. Roost makes no sense. Any of the circlets make no sense. You would need to wear Holy Glass, of course, to get through Richter. Steel Helm would, of course, be allowed. Dragon Helm would not be allowed. Now, as far as this armor, you would allow Spike back used for the breaking of spikes, but you would have to remove it after that. But yeah. Out of all these armors, though, not Platinum. None of these armors would actually be allowed any of the armors that I got right now on us. So that's yeah. Now cloak-wise, no Cloth Cloak, no Blood Cloak, no Twilight, or no Crystal. Royal Cloak, yeah, that makes sense, right? Because you're a knight and stuff like that. But the two, not all knights were generally royal, but yeah. I would allow gauntlets, of course, because that makes sense. Mystic Pendant I would not allow. I would not allow Bloodstone, Talisman, Ring of Arcanas, Ring of Ares, Ring of Pales I would not allow. Anchor of Life I would allow because it's a cross, so basically, like if you're a Templar Knight, like you would have that Anchor of Life along with something else and stuff like that, but yeah. And there will of course be more stuff, that I would allow, for example, like most of the 200 swords, like if we get the Flamberge drop, I would definitely allow the Flamberge. So let's go in here first. And this has the 250, which is going to be right here. That's weird that it doesn't have enemies here in this section here. And yeah. Heart max up. Life max up. Now, of course, you would not be allowed to fist things with the knight and stuff like that. Of course, you would have to do that at first, just until you get the short sword. And then you would need to stick with the short sword for a pretty long time and stuff like that. You would also be allowed, of course, to use. What would you allow to use familiar-wise? Bat makes no sense. Barry makes no sense. Sword, I guess, would be the only one that you would allow, right? Because you might say that the sword is from someone that is, because he's very knight-esque in his behavior. I know that it's really hard to see also if Heaven's Sword did drop and stuff like that, because sometimes it can fall really quickly and stuff like that, and that's the worst thing if you're like in any of these areas, right, and you're trying to grind the things thinking that, oh, this is a good way to get the Heaven's Sword, and it probably is, right, but it's like very dangerous because because there's a chance that they die in a wall and then oh, Heaven's Sword would have dropped, but did not drop because I would like to go back and get my lightning. Please. No, the lighting. Alright, we can go back to get the knife though. Is there because this is gonna be the bottom part here. Summon the army. Okay, so I mean they do very low damage. But see, they used stun locked him. See, and the summon is not that expensive, right? It's like, I feel like if there's a big target, right, this is good. Then I want to test this actually against Galmoth. Even though the damage is low, right? So Dragon Helm. That you could say makes sense, but that would make more sense for a samurai than it would be for a ninja. Instead of them. But yeah, there are certain things, of course, that I would need to get a full set of before I would like allow the usage of. By the way, so yeah. Because this is not going to be the ultimate cloak, I am going to allow the Twilight Cloak, even though normally I would not allow it, you know, set up with yeah. And keep the make it so that these don't break here, so you need to go this way, which is the lower path basically, in order to get to that. Although there is an opening here basically and stuff like that, because you know this is the I don't remember if there were things here. Alright, there is no one of those gods there. I don't remember if this is the correct height. I think you need to be slightly higher up for this to be correct. I think it's probably the next square, this now straight up. Did I go too far? Yeah, we went too far. It's earlier. Now here it is. So this is Strength Potion, Smart Potion and Luminous. And Luminous says Sword Forged by Elves. Here's what Luminous is. And that one does not give defense. Luminous, you might say, is dark also, same thing with the Sword of Hador. I forgot, did we pick up the Sword of Hador? House of Hador Heirloom. Because there's a lot of black swords that look like they are supposed to be dark or something like that. So kinda is what it looks like a bit. So it's going to be interesting because, you know, we would definitely probably need to record another part though. And I don't mind doing that thing slowly instead of like just rushing through things with like the battle and stuff like that, yeah. And then we do have a save room down here. So we need to get the dark armor, of course, and stuff like that, because, you know, we need to, you know, get to something, and dark armor will be the best thing, and then dark shield would be the best shield. But of course you might say, oh, but if you use Masamune and the katanas, right, there's none of the katanas that are one-handed. But it's sad in almost like that, you know. You can see that being on and stuff there, but it still doesn't work, so yeah. I always thought that the stone skull was something that would be killable, and that's how you would reach like 99, that, oh, there would be something that you could get to kill them. Instead of that, something that would like break the stone or something like that. That's always something I used to think, right? Because I never thought that, oh, there's no like legit way to reach 799. Technically there is, but the best thing is that you have to have 2 duplicators to kind of do it. And then you want to use power of side with something else, or 2 power of sides basically. And then you go in and out of Doom, and then you get XP very, very quickly and stuff like that. And while there's not a lot of XP you get each time you go to the room, I think there's something like this. I think you get a total of like 23 XP each time or something like that. Because there's 23 parts to it in total. I think because every part gives you 1 on the sword in the reverse scalpel. And stuff like that. So yes, so first off, the library. Yeah, the library. I'm not saying, oh, but the Crisaro game should be the ultimate thing. No, not really. For the purpose of making us not go completely insane, I'm gonna slap on 2 Ring of Arcanas. Used already now. Ooh, 52 damage though. Right, we did allow the steel hammer at one point as well, but yeah, but the steel hammer would not be that much defense. Does this have lower defense? No, it does not. See, that is something, right, that you don't get lower defense from... Wait, does the Terminus East give you defense? Clearly it does. Aspen does not give you defense. So why does the Poison and Execution Survivor does that give defense? That is interesting. I have... right, is that one of the only swords that give defense? I mean, I know, right, that Shielder gives defense. But that's interesting. No, but I wanna use this. Because the hitbox on it is actually pretty decent. Yeah, we're gonna have to avoid that thing for a while. But keep in mind, it will get better once we get a little bit more levels and so that. Yeah, we have no good way to kill Tin Man yet, I don't think. So that's another card. Opal, turquoise. I don't think the poison goes to that, though. What was it that we allowed? We did allow the star flail. So maybe we should just allow the lunar moon, or the moon rod. So let's just allow the moon rod, and then we do the shaman shield. But then I did say we are allowing the cloth like stuff in these tunic still. And we're at the point of having to allow that kinda, I think. Because the steel ham we did allow before us, so it's not like a changing of rules or anything, but yeah. A moon rod makes sense, right? Because we did not allow Morning Star, of course. And we did not allow the whole road, we did allow like the non-stack before and stuff there, but yeah. And this have of course this spell, which is decent enough because it has a good coverage and stuff that, so yeah. And this is normally where you would go basically and stuff that, so yeah. And this is where the save should be, here. And we'll probably stop at the now because it's used at the save, you know, so yeah. So anyway, I see you all in the part 7.